Hey guys, this is AC Lock here, and this is just for the heck of it right now. And there's a lot of stuff out there happening in business. A lot of things you got to watch out for. A lot of things you have to track, and numbers you got to watch, and laws and everything else. And some of us don't ever think about licensing or trademarking violations. And it's something that we've experienced with our company. And it's something that I even experienced very, very young when I started my company, Mallard Systems. When I started Mallard Systems, I was looking for a cute little duck to use for my logo. And one day, my wife and I were at the grocery store. I went by the area where they had toys and coloring books, and I found a Tiny Toons coloring book. And in that Tiny Toons coloring book was Plucky Duck, which was like a mini version or a baby version of Donald, not Donald Duck, but actually Daffy Duck. Okay? And so I used Plucky Duck to put alongside of my word Mallard Systems and did business with that as my duck. Well, after a couple years in the mail, I got a letter from Warner Brothers, who owned the rights to Plucky Duck, telling me that I could not use it to promote my company, Mallard Systems. So I had to hire an artist and have a new duck made and comply with that letter that they had sent me. Well, that didn't deter me from being a fan of Plucky Duck. I would get little Plucky Duck keychains and Plucky Duck pillows, and I loved that kind of stuff, but I didn't use Plucky Duck to promote my company. A lot of times people that are fans of a product or a service might wear like a Ford t-shirt, okay? Or they might like Ranger bass boats. I love Ranger bass boats. Put a Ranger bass boat sticker in the back of your window because you're paying homage to or honoring that company because you like them and you're a fan. And that's okay. A really, really good example of this and something that will really help you guys understand the difference between like a trademarking violation and being a fan of a brand is Coca-Cola. So you could buy Coca-Cola posters and Coca-Cola tins and Coca-Cola signs and Coca-Cola pillows and everything in the world with Coca-Cola on it. And those companies are licensed to put Coca-Cola's logo on those products and sell them to people. And then you can put them in your man cave or in your house, or even put a Coca-Cola sticker on your truck if you're a fan of Coca-Cola. And that's okay. Now, where it's not okay, where things kind of get messed up and you can get in trouble, is if you're a restaurant owner and you own a restaurant and you're a Coca-Cola fan and you put a bunch of Coca-Cola stuff in the windows of your restaurant and up on your sign alongside the highway and on your delivery truck that you deliver food for your restaurant, that starts to become deceptive because what happens is people are going to come and patronize your restaurant, possibly because they prefer Coke over Pepsi. They're going to come into your restaurant expecting to enjoy a nice cold drink of Coca-Cola, and they're going to find out that you don't sell Coca-Cola at all. And that is deception because you may not have intended to, but you ended up using Coca-Cola's brand to draw customers into your restaurant. And Coca-Cola would sue you. So it's something we have to watch for. Another good example of this is, let's say that you really love Cadillacs and you're a big fan of Cadillacs and you own a used car dealership and you decided to put a big Cadillac sign up in your window and put a Cadillac emblem up on your roadside sign and Cadillac's logo in your advertising. Yet, you do not own a Cadillac franchise or dealership. And there's somebody else in your town that does own a Cadillac dealership. And they pay a royalty for that. And they pay good money and they qualified for it. And there's certified Cadillac mechanics that work in their shop. And although that you're a fan of Cadillac and you love Cadillacs, you have that on your signage and on your service vehicles and on the front doors of your dealership. People might be confused and think that you're the local Cadillac dealer. Well, certainly in that situation, you can see how the local Cadillac guy that paid for the right to use that Cadillac emblem and call himself the local Cadillac dealership would probably be upset about you displaying the Cadillac logo at your used car shop or dealership. Okay? Certainly, if you had a man cave or you wanted to put on your own private property a collection of Cadillac memorabilia that you've collected, you could certainly do that because you're not doing business and you're not using those Cadillac logos to attract people to your business. You can certainly be a fan, and that's appropriate. But if you're using somebody else's logo without permission and without a license to promote your business, you're committing fraud. And what a lot of people don't realize is case law in the United States is if you do it unknowingly and honestly you were just a fan and you just didn't know any better and it was not done intentionally, the person who owns the rights to that logo can sue you for $200,000 per occurrence of that trademark logo. So if you've got one in your advertising, one on your truck, one on your storefront, one on your service vehicle, stuff like that, it's $200,000 if you can actually prove, I didn't know any better. I was just a fan. Gosh, I was confused. I didn't understand the law. Now, if it was done intentionally, that 10x's to $2 million per occurrence. So you can see if you got 3 or 4 or 5 of somebody's logos on your business, and that's a registered trademark logo, and you did it intentionally to defraud customers and make them think that you use Coca-Cola in your restaurant, Coca-Cola could come to you and sue you for $2 million for every single place you use their logo. Now, here's the good news. Here's the good news. If you're a fan of a brand and you want to use that brand on your truck, and it's a personal vehicle, or even, for instance, on your service vehicle, a lot of these companies, you can just call them and they will give you permission, written permission, to use that logo. I remember back when I was a professional fisherman before I had any sponsors at all. Nobody was paying me to fish. But I wanted to honor some of the companies for the products I used. I called and made an arrangement with those companies to have those logos on my boat and on my website and on my business cards when I was a professional fisherman. Then as I grew up through the ranks and I started being successful as a professional fisherman, then of course companies came to me and they endorsed me and they gave me products and they paid me money for me to carry those logos. And that was a good give-take relationship. But in that relationship, we had contracts and licensing agreements to use those logos, and I had to perform to a certain standard, and I had to represent their products well. I could not have Bagley fishing lures or Berkeley or Ranger boats on the side of my truck and hold up a gas station. You might get a video of me pulled away from that gas station with Ranger bass boats on my truck, and it might look poorly for Ranger bass boats. So, hey, listen, the moral of the story is we all really love some products out there, and we're fans, and we want to pay them homage. But we do need to remember that there's other people who have actually earned the right to use those logos, like a dealership in a major market that purchased the rights to be the local Cadillac dealership. And we need to respect that. Okay? If you're a fan and you love a logo, then put it in your man cave, put it in your garage, but really watch out using it to promote your business. It could get you in trouble and it might cost you a lot of money. All right? So I hope that makes sense to you guys and opened up your minds about this very, very confusing topic of registered trademarks. Okay? Well, guys, this is AC Locke here. And this is just for the heck of it right now. Go forth and prosper.